Hello and welcome to the final panel discussion, and today I have here Jerry Hobson, Shay Kellier.
Am I allowed to breathe now?
Hello.
Yes, you may breathe now, Shay. In case you knock over the sack of potatoes.
Man,
so
Dylan, how many episodes have I been on for this time, mate? I think it's 24 or some shit. Man.
You've came on double the amount of episode there is in the series. That's pretty impressive.
Man, what can I say?
Last week.
It's my fourth one, so...
Oh, well, just can't get enough of you, Shay, can we? I don't know,
Man,
Jerry.
no one can get enough of Shay and his, just majestic ginger locks. What can I say?
I'd like to fight Jerry for the top position on the panel.
Oh,
So,
man,
Well,
Shay,
I'm
you
not
don't need to fight anyone. I've got my Queen's throne clearly tidied for you.
I'll give you 2 daggers. You can do it away from my house.
Oh shit!
alright.
Don't get stabby with that. Mate. Don't get stabby with that. Stabby with Mrs. Brawley. Umbrella. A sonic umbrella.
Well, I get stabby when I can just shoot lasers out of it, apparently.
Why get stabby when you can just get a boner
why
like John
hasn't she
Sim?
used that until now as like a laser thing?
Fuck knows.
There's definitely been times when she could have used it in previous episodes, but oh well. Anyway, so what did you think of the Doctor as played by Peter Capaldi in this particular episode?
Oh man, it was like the first time where I didn't think it was Peter Capaldi. It was great. Fucking, it was actually good for a change.
I mean, he wasn't bad, but I wasn't. He didn't stand out to me in this one particularly.
He's kind of like Series 9. He's this mundane person who's slightly trying to act cool in certain circumstances.
Yeah, but not as cringy as he was in Series 9.
No,
I'll give him
not
that
as
much
cringy.
credit. Although, I have to say, the whole I will not regenerate thing seems to come a bit
That
out
was
of
also-
nowhere, considering how many times he's done it at this point. It's not something new, it's not something he's really... he's probably worried about us, but I don't think it's that traumatic at this point. It's just part of the course. It's like,
that
why
bit was
only
absolutely
after
awful.
this many times is it an issue? Like, it was only been an issue for 2
Because
Doctors
Moffat
now,
says
and it's just... I don't know, it just felt a bit out of place.
It just
in my opinion.
reeked of the end of time, and as
Yeah.
people who are
Well,
regulars on Bill's
Give
channel
him
will
some
know.
credit, Shay. It's not as bad as Tennant is in the
He
end of time.
even said, I don't want to go. That
go.
instilled so much fury in me. I was like, oh, Jesus
To be
Christ.
fair, I think it's to do with the Doctor trying to hold off Clara's inevitable fucking cameo in his final scenes. To be honest,
no,
I
that
can't
is
believe
going
it.
to happen, and it's going to be
That
terrible.
is the worst news. That is the worst news I've had in a long while.
Man,
Is
it's
Clark
gonna
be
fucking happen, and we're all just
back?
gonna look at the TV and sigh.
Just pretty
We're not
much
gonna sigh, we're gonna
most
stick
of
our
the
foot
on it.
Doctor
No,
basically, I
not
don't know
in-
why I mean, I know they're probably going to do it, but I just don't get why they do it, because most of the Doctor Who community doesn't like Clara at this point, and most casual viewers just don't care. So literally appeasing this very tiny select minority of people that actually give a toss about Clara at this point. So just
Should've got
It's because
Susan-
Stephen Moffat he's
got
too
Carol Ann
self-indulgent.
Ford come back with David Bradley.
yeah, the only way I'm not going to be mad if it's just kind of like a floating Clara head going around saying don't regenerate,
It's
don't
like-
die, Doctor.
Just Peter Davison. The chameleon shows up.
And then Missy shows up. You must dab, Doctor. Dab.
Dab, Doctor.
I believe we've done this joke before, though.
You could do it all. You could do it for the next fucking 40 minutes still, and I wouldn't get tired.
I will say...
I've never heard it before, so I'm glad I was here.
There's one moment in this episode which I kind of both love and hate. It's that moment where the Doctor's going around like killing Simon with a sonic screwdriver. Like, I hate the concept of the fact that he can just kill Simon with a sonic screwdriver, and I should just hate the scene in its entirety. But it's just shot really well, and I love the Heaven Sent music remix in the background. So it kind of makes me half love, half hate this scene, and it just gives me a very weird feeling inside watching it. It's like, I want to like it, but I can't. I'm not allowed.
Well-
It's the forbidden love.
I know
Yeah,
what you
the
mean.
director
except
said that
my-
they
It's my
Sorry.
Juliet.
I see.
Go
The
on.
director
Hello.
said that they shot that entire scene with like the Cyberman fight in the forest in 3 long takes and then edited all the takes together.
Yeah,
So I
because
think
they didn't
that
have the budget to do it
rather-
individually.
Yeah, so rather than having
God, they're
cuts
on like
all
a
the time, it's
60s
just
Who
like,
budget where they can only do 3 takes.
But
and
that
they,
kinda
they
has-
they like
They're trying
mentioned
to
a
be
bunch of
authentic as
old
possible.
Cyberman
Yeah.
stories.
And then
which is-
next episode when Bradley fluffs up a line, you can just say he was paying homage to Hartnell when it was actually just didn't have the budget.
Man, obviously.
I will be very disappointed if he doesn't fluff up a line, because then it won't feel quite right, you know.
I think we'll leave the Bradley talk till later though, because obviously that's going to have its own.
All right, yeah.
Anything more to say on Capaldi in this episode?
Not really. It was just there.
His speech to the two masters was quite good. I can't remember a thing that he said, but I remember being quite impressed.
It was good.
What, that speech? I don't know, but I didn't really
Yeah.
care for it. It just felt a bit generic, speechy to me. You know,
And Capaldi, I mean, that's
it
what
was
Capaldi's quite known for.
I thought it was quite pseudo clever. You know, Moffat's kind of brand of it sounds like
really?
it could be clever, but it isn't really clever at all.
And you could look at it that way, but I mean, the dialogue-wise, I don't really care. I just like to see it as Peter Capaldi really showing off what he can do in his last hurrah. Even though the Christmas special is going to be that, but I don't really count that because that's inevitable.
I felt this was a bit anticlimactic, as if it was trying so hard to be epic, yet it just didn't feel it, just because it was so detached from anything that came before, with a set of characters we barely know other than like the regulars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get why I'm supposed to give a shit about this, you know, house when we barely know any of the characters. Like, we kind of got a tiny smidgen of development for that woman and that girl, but not really enough to make us go, ooh, I would be really sad if the Cybermen came and killed them all.
I would be, though. I mean,
I've actually laughed with joy.
We
need to have some children die in Doctor Who.
That's me.
I'm serious. We need some deaths in New
Who.
Who.
We need some deaths, but you don't necessarily need to go and slaughter an orphanage just to show your balls.
That's good. That'd be some nice, like, I'd feel pretty gratified for, I don't know, 5 years?
Also,
anyway,
I feel like they wouldn't be able to get it past the BBC. It's like, oh yeah, we want to do this scene when a bunch of orphans get fucking killed. Somehow, I don't think that would fly quite
fucking
well.
Stephen Moffat's epitaph right there. I wrote in Doctor Who and got a bunch of fucking orphans fucking killed.
You know, thinking about it, yes, they should do that, because that would just get lots of outrage and it'd be funny.
But it'd also be dark. It would fit the Cybermen in almost every way.
Doctor Who racist? Kills small black child? Question mark, question mark.
Oh, but wait, speaking of which, last episode, you know how Bill... I think we actually touched on this in the panel discussion, but because Bill got turned into a Cyberman, people were saying on Twitter that this was a bury your gays trope, and Doctor Who was deeply homophobic for killing this character off.
Oh, no, that's shocking.
I thought they were all saying it didn't matter that Bill was gay, so why is it a big deal now that she's dead?
No. These were the same people saying it was a big deal that she was gay. Like, people like me were the ones who were saying it wasn't a big deal and it shouldn't be a big deal. It was people like them who were saying, oh, it's excellent that she's gay, it's so good and progressive. It's like, you know, just don't make a big deal of it. That's how you normalise things like that. That should be normal.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to halt the progress of LGBT Cybermen. Why though?
Exactly.
Why? This
world's first gay Cyberman, and they're just shitting on it.
This could be a huge stepping stone for all of cyberkind. Just why though? I mean, man.
Actually, I saw the exact opposite of that online. People on Planet Mondas were like, "Oh, well, you know, now she's a Cyberman. Now she's no longer saying that she's going to be, you know, she's gay or she's black." So we can, you know, kind of get rid of that.
Well,
she's no longer gay or black, so now we can like her.
But look, you see, you say that, but then I think we've pretty much moved into the Bill segment now, so whatever. But yeah, there is some gay stuff in this episode.
Yeah, I mean, so didn't need it. That's all.
No, but in this episode it was fine, just because it was like she wasn't, you know, going around saying, I'm gay, I don't like men. You know, in this one it was just her kissing somebody. It was like, yeah, okay, that's all right.
Yeah, that was fine. But that comment before with the doctor,
it wasn't deep breath where Vassar and Jenny shared their air with each other.
Oh, I forgot about that comment. That was weird. What does that mean? Like, at first I thought it meant she actually fancied the Doctor. I mean, I don't know if that's just because I'd had a few when I was watching The Doctor Falls, but...
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I think she was trying to insinuate that, but then he looked really confused, and she's like, Oh yeah, just thought
I
you'd like
was
to
as
know.
confused as he was. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't really know what I'm going with this speech. I'm just gonna just leave it there.
She just had to slip it
Very
into
weird.
conversation one more time.
That's just...
Like,
That's just
I
so
wish
strange.
they.
And think
I
about it
wish
this
they
way.
Yeah.
showed that.
Even though we
I
saw
wish
her
they
as
showed that
Bill
from the
Potts...
Cyberman.
Not Shay. Even though
Yeah,
we
that was a
saw her as
Cyberman.
Bill Potts, there was a Cyberman going, actually, I thought that you kind of looked attractive. Whatever the line was.
Yeah, and then just what is it? Actually, never mind. I'm going to go now. Bye. Just like
Get-
hop off into the distance.
Yeah, that's what's really funny. Whenever, Bill speaks, it's always in that monotone Cyberman voice, so you don't know what the other people around her are reacting.
Now,
But yeah, Pearl Mackey's performance in this was really good.
yeah,
She's a really good
she
actress.
is a great
She
actor,
gets
and I hope she goes
a lot
on
of stuff
to do
after
some great
this.
things. So basically, I'm
But,
kind of
I like-
torn on Bill in this episode because I like the stuff of her coming to terms with being a Cyberman, but pretty much after that stops being the focus, it starts to become a little shit. Especially when
Yeah.
she gets magically saved by the puddle, completely undermining
Oh,
the
that
threat
was
of the Cyberman.
terrible.
The Cybermen.
Yes.
I really liked the idea of Bill, of like everyone, like Bill not seeing herself as a Cyberman, so the audience don't see her as a Cyberman. And the whole thing with like when they show her the reflection of herself, and like they did the stuff with the shadows, where she sees the shadow of like the headlamp. That stuff was all really good.
That
And
was all
everyone's
really
reaction.
good, but they just had to fuck it up. Like, this is the first time the
I know.
Cybermen have seemed like a legitimate threat in Yoo-Hoo, but nope, Magic Puddle from episode 1 comes and undoes all the danger, meaning there's still no fucking consequences for companions in Yoo-Hoo.
I know, like
just
Even
bugger
Moffat
when I was
in a
off.
nutshell.
watching it, I was so confused. Like when she started coming out of the puddle, I was like, "What is going on?" And then I was like, "Oh, this is from the first episode. What the shit is happening?"
But yeah,
It's
this
very,
is
very-
a very poor move, and the thing is, it's so similar to Clara's exit from last episode.
Oh, it
Yes.
really
Yeah.
is.
It's like literally two women go travelling around time forever rather than have the companion die, even though they kind
But
of
there's
died.
There's no space diner, Dylan. So does it
Yeah.
really? Do they really compare?
Yeah, again, this is another act which has removed all sense of danger from Doctor Who, just as it was managing to claw it back, actually, because Series 10 has been good on that front until now. And just, you had to fuck it up, didn't you, Moffat? It was all going well, but you had to fuck it up.
Man.
He said something like, "Doctor Who isn't that kind of show, and that it should be happy."
Has he,
But
has he
fucking-
ever seen stuff like the Daleks Master Plan? It's depressing as shit.
He's probably no. He should just watch Genesis of the Daleks.
Yeah, that one's pretty dark as well.
Just-
In fact, there's
just listen
loads
to
of
the
dark
Big
ones.
Finish.
In fact, even New Who has had some really dark ones, like, the Dalek ones in Series 1. They were bloody bleak, and
Well,
everybody
what about
loves
Oxygen?
them.
Look at Oxygen.
Yeah.
At Oxygen.
And that
Yeah,
one
in
has a very
season.
good sense of
Yeah.
danger as well, because, like, there's actually consequences for the people in the story. Like, the Doctor actually goes blind, and I love that. That was a very good move on Jamie Matheson's part. But it's stuff like that we want. We want a sense of danger. We don't want to feel as if, we can just sit back and go, oh, everything's going to be alright for everybody. We need to feel as stuff can actually happen to these people that we're watching, and we need to pay attention. Whereas, Moffat, yet again, is just chat on that idea. Really amateurish kind of writing, in my opinion, because you're completely missing a whole another level of audience engagement you could have otherwise.
But
Yeah,
I
how
mean,
about-
really, in terms of Moffat and avoiding death and always bring people back to life, I mean, we've had signs of this from the very beginning when he wrote Curse of Fatal Death, where
Yeah.
at the very end, the Doctor comes back to life and the companion is like, even the universe can't have the Doctor be dead. Ever since then, that was his warning.
And
Like,
his
Stephen
first
Moffat was
story,
just
everybody
like,
lives.
this
And his
is
second
always
story,
gonna happen.
everybody lives. Oh wait, no, I think somebody dies in that one. Shit. Okay, well his third story,
People
everybody
die.
lives, and his
Like-
fourth story, everybody lives.
Well, if you think he's so
Justice
adamant for
Wants-
everyone to
Justice-
live here, what do you make of his decision to perhaps permanently kill off the Master?
But
Fucking-
no,
Sorry,
the
the
master...
Master-
has permanently died about
Yeah,
50 million
I think-
times.
I know that.
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
that. I mean,
I think the
Anthony
term
Ainley's been
permanently
resurrected
kill off
I
through
didn't
Master
like the
don't quite
explanation.
work.
I didn't like the explanation for how Sim
Oh.
survived.
I
Anyway,
thought
yeah,
it
should
was
we move on
really
to the
funny
Master
that
now?
when the two of them
Right, we're in the Master
kill
now.
each other and they're both just like laughing hysterically. I love that bit. That
So
was
did
just,
I.
Right.
I was like, ooh.
You see,
fucking
I
alright.
liked that, and I thought John Sim was great in this story. Like, they really fixed his character. My main
Oh,
issue is Missy still has no motivation for turning good. There has been no catalyst which has caused this fundamental change in such a long-running character, and I've said it every single panel discussion. And look, she actually went back to help the Doctor, but why? What made this change? This has still not been explained to us very well. You know, it's just really poor storytelling.
Sexual tension, mate. That's all, mate.
I really would have liked it because Johnson was like, "It's suspicious that you don't remember any of this." I would have just loved at the end of the episode. He he shoots and he's like, "Ha, joke's on you, mate. I'm the Rani. What?" And everyone's like, "What?"
The Ronnie's dead.
Joke's on you. I'm Omega. Before he discovered.
Come on, Shay. The Rani isn't memorable enough to bring back.
Oh, you got a point there.
Or the monk.
Shocking.
That's a Muffat's quote, by the way.
It is.
Yeah, just like, I was the. It's just like I was that Time Lord from the start of Terror of the Autons. Way.
That's the kind of fan I reckon Muffat would descend to, and now that I've said it, it's going to happen in the Christmas special, isn't it?
The Christmas special is going to involve
Bradley,
it's going to be a team up of the Time Lords from Terror of the Autons and Genesis of the Daleks. That's what's going to happen.
Yes.
Fucking
That weird guy with his black pigtail costume.
Oh, that was. I really like that Time Lord appearance though in Genesis of the Daleks.
Nah, he's going to be a future incarnation of the fucking monk just because of the gear. That's all. That's what's
No,
going to
Rufus
happen.
Hound. Rufus Hound is playing the monk currently, so they'd have to get him in.
Rufus sounds very good as
Anyway.
a big finish. Anyway, is there anything you want to say on the Master and Missy other than it was kind of funny? In some points it was done well, but Missy's still a horribly done character.
Man, I feel happy that people like John Sim now because I've liked him since the start.
Oh well, I still don't like End of Time John Sim, and I don't I don't think that Series 3 finale John Sim is the Master, even though I enjoy the character. But here, he was the Master. It's such a shame this is probably the last time we'll see him on the screen as well. Because he's finally become the Master, and yet we barely see him at all.
I think the best part about his appearance was at the very end, really, the whole scene with the elevator, when he goes down, he's laughing to himself, because he's probably got a plan. He probably knows that he's not that's not how he's gonna die, and he's also just killed himself in the future. He's just having a whale of a time.
Yeah.
I fucking loved him in this episode, man. I hated John Sims so much in The End of Time.
Same.
It's my least favorite episode, in fact. But here, he was great. He was the most entertaining person on screen.
Yeah, Muffat
even when
really redeemed him.
Even when he wasn't on screen, you're always like, I hope they get back to John Sim now. Really
John Sim having a boner at himself.
Fucking.
That was probably the worst bit of his appearance.
Man, that was class.
I don't know if it was because, as I've said, I was a bit, drunk while watching it, but I did find that funny. I don't know if I'd still find it funny now.
You tipsy bastard. Dylan.
I find it fine. Think about it. If you were to look at yourself, look, whatever. The Master's manipulative. He can do whatever he wants.
And now he's manipulating his own cock.
And he's fiddling with
Lovely.
himself. He's fiddling with his own vagina, but his vagina from the future, even though he doesn't currently have one.
What if they had sex? Is that super incest?
Oh, no,
what
Shay.
Even is that?
That's not even a joke, because Muffat genuine. Well, I mean, not sure it was genuine. It might have been a joke, but considered
it was a joke.
having Missy
You can
be
tell
pregnant.
the way he said it was a joke, though. You could tell.
But
how funny would that be? She
from
says that,
RTD about it.
and then the EastEnders theme kicks in. It's dun, dun, dun. So we've been in dimensions in time this whole fucking time. Right?
What? And he just erased all of Newbie. Excellent.
The Ronnie steps out and he's like, Doctor, pickled in time, gherkin.
Oh, wow.
That's the ultimate ending.
That's how Doctor Who should end. That should be the final scene of the final episode.
And then again, you know why? Because it gets cancelled after that.
That would bring it back.
Look at the ratings on that, Doctor.
I mean, screw Doctor in Distress. All you need to show is Dimensions of Time, and it's clear the show is worth keeping around.
Of course.
Just go to your best friend and just be like, hey, have you ever watched Doctor Who? No. Oh, let me show you my favorite episode.
Oh, that's torture. That's absolute torture.
That they just get faced with Tom Baker just sitting in like a Windows 95 screensaver, just going, "She even hates children." How much money did they have to pay Tom Baker to do that? Like
A lot.
The man
No.
is like a hero of the world, and he does that. Fucking poor guy.
I mean, it took Big Finish about 10 years to get him on board. It was only because he's, like, ancient that he agreed to do it. Anyway, should we move on to the next bit now? I think we'll move on to the Cybermen. What do you think of them? Yeah.
They were paper thin.
Fucking underused as shit.
Yeah, after being done so well this episode, they're basically ignored. You know, and it's just disappointing. Yep. And they get blown up by the sonic screwdriver. There's not really much to say other than they were just poorly handled here. Not as poorly handled as every other Moffat era appearance, but still pretty poorly handled nonetheless. It's just a shame he got them so perfectly last episode, and it almost feels as like he didn't even realise he was getting them. He was, writing the Cybermen so good last episode from just how ignored they were this one.
Yeah, I feel like whenever Moffat writes a good episode, it's always just an accident.
Yeah, he doesn't,
like,
he
just, like,
doesn't
he writes
really
it.
realise the magnitude of what he's just done.
Like, when he wrote Heaven Sent, he was probably like, alright, that's good now, Hellbent.
My masterpiece!
And you
like,
see,
I bet, like,
the reason why I think this is just because he always shits on everything that was good in the next episode when he writes a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
at least a good
how
episode, like
do
Darkwater Death
How
in Heaven,
does
Heaven Sent
he do
Hellmen,
it?
and this used to. I don't know,
Like,
Shay.
he just, like, writes it and he goes, oh, that's beautiful, that's one for the fans, they'll love that. Now! And he just, like, cracks his finger and he's like, fucking, let's ruin this shit.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's kind of what I feel like. There's a moment where the Doctor's explaining, the the Cybermen have parallel evolution. I feel like he just did that so fanboys wouldn't crucify him over contradicting certain parts.
Yeah, but I am annoyed because he said that the Cybermen came from Marinus now.
Marinus.
Which,
They
didn't. The Verd are a separate thing. Listen to Domain of the Verd. I am right. You are wrong, Mafas.
Well, Dylan, I mean, World Shapers came before Big Finish, so, I mean, it's more canon.
Oh, well, yeah, but fucking comics don't count. Domain of the Verd's
Yeah, but it had...
Yeah, they do.
It had Frobisher in it. It had Frobisher in it.
I don't care.
So.
Domain of the Verd, more canon than some shit comic.
Rip.
And I don't care how closed-minded I'm being.
I mean, Doctor
Domain
Who
of the Verd's
contradicts
brilliant
itself.
audio. Yeah.
Doctor Who contradicts itself like every fucking 10 seconds, so I mean, really, who really
It doesn't.
cares?
Yeah, I don't really care. I'm just joking. But
I
seriously,
just accept
prefer-
that like everything is canon, but don't try and fit it all together because you'll like fucking die.
I much prefer how the Verd are in Domain of the Verd as opposed to them just being Cybermen because they're actually quite a unique villain in that. Oh, hello, Cuckoo. They've made the appearance in the Lord Slar episode.
What?
Man.
What the hell? That was the most out of the blue thing.
I was expecting it because I saw it was 1:30.
You're just like
fucking
staring
shit myself.
at it, just like, oh no.
No, I wanted everybody to see my cuckoo on screen.
Well, Dylan, I've seen your
well-endowed
cuckoo.
cuckoo clock.
Man,
Cuckoo clock. I just want everybody to see that shit.
that just man, Dylan, enough. Save it for when the panel's over, dude.
Okay.
You get me.
It's alright,
You get
Jerry.
me hot and
It's alright.
flustered already, dude.
Alright, before we
Sorry.
move on to final thoughts, let's talk about Nardo. and his
Oh,
limited
really well
appearance
done.
here.
I'm really sad to see him go. I never thought I'd say that. I was
Yeah.
so against the idea of Nidal before Series 10.
I
So
think
was
we
I.
all
Oh,
were.
he was
I think we all
he
were.
was one of the best companions in a long goddamn time.
Really?
Him
Oh,
and
I
Bill.
wasn't
Yeah.
that big of a-
No, he was good.
Him and
He
Bill.
was good.
Him and Bill make one of the best TARDIS teams like in New Who.
Well, here's
It's
the
so
thing,
nice to go
Shay.
back to the.
They make one of the best TARDIS teams in New Who sometimes. It just depends how much time the writers
Aye.
had to write them in. Like, basically in the middle of the series and now at the end, he was good. But, like, in the kind of
Yeah.
bit before the end and the beginning, he was a bit shit. Basically got
But
good
I was sad
oxygen
to see him-
onwards, then kind of...
I was sad to see him go. I want more Nidal.
Then went
and
downhill
I don't.
after the
I
monkey
don't.
country.
He had a really bittersweet ending, and that's the whole point.
Yeah, his
You want
goodbye was really
bittersweet-
good. His ending
Yeah.
was really good.
I thought it was
But I
a bit
feel like-
rushed, though. I just feel like he's just, and he's gone.
No, but I still felt
Yeah.
like it had that momentum. You want to feel, bittersweet when companions are gone, and you just want to keep that bittersweetness so it actually has impact.
And then Big Finish get the Nardole license and do a bit of a
Yes.
spin-off.
Oh dear.
Companion Chronicles.
No, but
No.
I mean,
Nardole
I don't actually remember that being a scene where he just said, like, I'm gone now. Like,
Yeah, he has that. He has his goodbye speech to the Doctor. He's like,
oh, does
well,
he?
you know,
I must
Does
have
he?
been too under the influence
tipsy.
to have registered that.
it was actually a really good scene.
Shit.
As well.
Oh well, I missed one of the best scenes. Hooray. Okay, maybe it wasn't as jarring as I thought it was then. From my
It's just
hazy
because
recollection.
he's really like against the idea. He's like, no, I don't want to hang out with a bunch of kids.
Oh
Fucking...
right. Oh no, I remember that bit. I didn't realize
Yeah.
that was his goodbye scene.
Oh, he says some
Oh
stuff
yeah,
after
it
that.
was his goodbye. Oh, yeah, he does say some stuff after that. That's why I was confused. But yeah, that was all right. But yeah, Nardole, he was good here, and I think you wouldn't really want to continue this character much further. I mean, actually,
No.
In a way, you would, because there's so much to explore. Because we still don't know who the fuck he is and where he comes from.
But I
and
think
what
it's
his
part of the
motivations
mystery.
are. Well, it's not really
He's
a
much
mystery,
better than any of
though.
us thought he would be.
Yeah,
Some
but,
things are best not explained.
but this
The mystery is how he was good.
This should be explained, I think.
No.
But either way, I still don't think you should continue in the series just because we need that Chibnall clean slate that I've been banging on about for bloody ages. And,
Yeah, it's probably...
and I'll give Nardole credit, he was much better than I thought, even though in some cases I was right and he was just characterless comic relief, like in the first 4 episodes. But
I think he was better than anyone thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Yes.
think anyone had high hopes for Nardole.
I mean, it got to the point where this Facebook group called TARDIS Posting, love 'em, and so they went on the Radio Times poll for best Moffat character and voted Nardole at the top, and Radio Times discounted all their votes just so River Song could win. It's like
shit.
so
I was
petty.
like,
That's
so-
disgusting.
Terrible.
It was terrible.
Because
It was like,
Nardole
well,
is
that
fucking
just shows the
10
state.
million times
That just
better
shows
than
the state
River Song.
of modern democracy. It's
Don't
like, oh
the
god,
result, just get rid of it and let fucking River Song win. Just bugger off.
just sweep Nardole under the carpet. What a disgrace.
Right, so let's move on to the
Shocking.
final thoughts. So if you give like a kind of closing statement,
What about-
and then give it a score out of
What about
10.
David Bradley though?
Oh, good point. Yeah, we'll do David. Actually, no, David Bradley's kind of the next time trailer, so we'll do that afterwards.
Is he though? Is he?
Well, yeah, because
Is he really?
He is because he's not really in this episode, is he? He's just kind of
No.
there.
He's in the last 2 minutes though.
Yeah, but he's not.
Technically he is.
Yeah, but it's not like a part of this episode.
That is
He's
disconnected from
basically
the rest
the
of the
next time trailer.
It's like how at the end of a William Hartnell episode, there's always an opening for the next story.
Yeah,
It's not part of the current one.
It's like
have you know.
it's like saying the Ark and what's the story that comes after that? The Celestial Toymaker are at
Celestial
eight party
Toymaker.
just because they.
I'll have you
lead
know,
into each other.
Dylan, the Dominators to the Invasion is just the best 18-part story ever. It's just
The
fucking
mind robber comes.
18. It's
Wait, what?
13. You monster.
Oh,
No.
right,
yeah.
he's including the mind robber as well. Yeah, I was
Ah,
going to
just
criticize him on that, but I kind of stopped.
I'm
whispering,
sorry.
Trying to be
I'm
clever.
sorry.
Shay Kelleher, Nuvian confirmed?
Jerry,
Question mark.
please forgive me.
You Lord
Please
Slar video.
forgive me.
Anyway, come on. Final thoughts. Go on.
Yeah, it was alright.
yeah,
Yeah,
I liked it.
It was okay. I
character
give it a
moments.
6 out of 10.
Yeah, there was a
I'd
lot
give
of
it 7.
wasted potential. The Cybermen didn't have enough time. The Masters didn't have enough time. They ruined Bill's ending, but I mean, it was enjoyable. I'd probably give it a 6 as well. It was alright. Not as good as last week's.
Mediocre.
I'd give it a 7 as well. I like it.
Well, you see, I'm a lot more critical than you people because while it did have some good moments, had literally zero focus, and that just like the moments with Bill, just being saved, were just really infuriating and just ruining lots. Like as I explained earlier, the sense of danger this series had. So I'm probably gonna have. If I was feeling a bit harsh, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 10, but as it stands, a 5 out of 10. It's pretty disappointing, and I honestly didn't think it was of a very high quality. And just the more I
Shocking,
think
Dylan.
about it, the more it kind of just falls apart. Especially how it just doesn't really feel like a satisfying, I mean, I know it's not technically Peter Capaldi's finale, but it's kind of like, his last proper stand, unless the Christmas
The
special
Doctor
proves
falls
otherwise.
apart, mate.
And it just kind of feels a bit anticlimactic just because it's so disconnected from anything that came before it about characters we barely know. In fact, no, only 2 of them we know to any extent. So yeah, not a big fan of this one, and it's such a shame because Well Enough at Time was so bloody good.
Yep.
All right, Dylan. If you're gonna waffle on about it, then.
Fucking
We'll do again.
Do it again.
Don't breathe, Dylan. You can't breathe. You've ruined the entire pen.
Right, David Bradley then.
Shit choice for the next Doctor. Disappointed. I want it to be a young guy again.
You're not even. That's not even a joke though, Jerry. People genuinely thought he was the next Doctor. It's like people not know who the first Doctor is. How the fuck can you?
Why would they? Why
You
would
don't
they?
know who the
Yeah,
Doctor
first
Who
Doctor
started in
is.
2005, yo.
Eccleston's the first Doctor. It's
Yeah.
pretty obvious.
Yeah, I thought we all knew that. That's why it's called the Ninth
All
Doctor.
the other ones are
Like,
not
I'm not one of
canon.
these people that goes around saying, "Oh, you're not a real fan if you haven't seen the classic series." But if you don't know who the first Doctor is, I'm sorry, you cannot consider yourself a fan with any seriousness. That's just insane.
Is it though?
It is.
Is it really?
Anyway.
Is it?
But anyway, David Bradley, he was good at
David
Adventures
Bradley is
Space and Time.
he's a much better. I mean, the Chris special's going to be shit. Let's be real. But I'm looking forward
Maybe
to
not.
seeing his
Maybe not.
impression of the
Well, you
first Doctor,
see,
because
Shay, the reason why
he
the
looks
Christmas specials are
much more like
usually
William
shit.
Hartnell than-
The reason why they're usually shit is because there's no effort put into them. But in this case, it's more that final ever episode, so it might.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you right now, Dylan, the effort in the Christmas special is going to be really fucking... See, because they've killed off Bill, there's no sort of LGBT presence there. They're going to have
Maybe the first
Peter
Doctor's secretly
Capaldi.
gay.
I'm gonna give my
So he has a
prediction. Right?
granddaughter.
It's not
I'm
his
gonna give-
granddaughter, mate.
I'm gonna give my prediction here. I think that this episode's gonna tie into the 10th planet. I think Moffat just has to
Oh,
put
yeah,
another
like,
stain on
without
Doctor
doubt.
Who.
Oh,
It's
man,
going to be
I
like,
can't wait for
ooh,
it.
the two old men regenerating at the same time. It's going to be, ooh, fuck, man. I'm
Porn
That
shit.
sounds really kinky shit.
Fucking... Don't want to go times 2. No.
2 mature men regenerate at the same time. Text.
But David Bradley is a much better choice for Hartnell than Richard Herndl, because Richard Herndl looked nothing like him.
Well, I thought Richard Herndl was good.
David Bradley looks
Oh, David Bradley's better.
like eerily
David
like
Bradley's smile would fucking kill ponies, man. That thing is fucking horrifying.
And
Fucking smile
so,
when I was
so is
old
William
on.
Hartnell's, so there you go, it's accurate.
Yeah, William Hartnell never ever smiled apart from like the fucking like never like
No, he
apart from one
smiles all
fucking
the
blue
time.
moon.
Apart from all the
Apart
times he
from when
smiled on
Katarina-
screen. He laughs
Oh.
at things all the time.
I only saw him smile when Katarina died. He had a big grin on his face.
The worst part is he
He's like,
did
oh, I finally have
actually
to-
have a
finally-
little smile on his face for that.
I don't
Finally
know,
get to
it's just,
stop explaining things to this stupid Trojan bitch.
maybe it's just because I've got this image of William Hartnell as this fucking raging fucking racist because of the 10th planet. Oh well.
Oh god, yeah.
Can't
yeah.
really
That one,
fucking-
I try really hard not to think about that because it kind of just like spoils the memory.
Yeah, it
Wait,
spoils
what are you
William
referring to?
Hartnell for all of us.
Like he just went onto the set of the web planet. He was like, "Oh, these ants are all black. I can't do this."
Can't
It's
you
all
get
full of
blacked
Arabs.
up?
Yes,
Can you
this
black up
reminds me
these
of the Negroes
insects?
who moved in next door.
God.
I haven't watched
Sorry.
the Web Planet in
I'm gonna
years.
get censored now.
Probably
Rip
best
Lord
if you
Slug.
do-
I was
if you
referring to the
pre-censor
zombie there.
that.
I wasn't like making a racist comment. I was just a joke, man.
Just a cheeky joke,
That's
mate. Your
a-
face.
Please forgive me.
You can't handle the banter. Stay out of the panel discussion.
I'm gonna get roasted alive, Shay.
Man, Rip Dylan. This is his last video.
Yeah.
Be
Everyone
prepared
thinks-
for, be prepared for Dylan's alt Lord Slug coming at you with another fucking Christmas review.
Everyone's always like, oh, if William Hartnell were alive today, he'd love how far the show's come. But he'd just watch like an episode of series 10 and go, oh, black person here. What's going on? And
Fucking make him watch.
gay.
Fucking make him watch Tomb of the Cybermen. See how it went on after it. Oh no!
Now make him watch a
That's
parody called
insane.
Tony Strongman.
Fucking triggered because he sees Patrick Troughton as a black tooth. Only one man in England that can replace me, and it's not the one with a black tooth.
Well, Patrick Troughton wanted to do it blacked up.
Yeah, you know,
like,
he wanted to do it as like
I mean-
a grumpy sea man, like with a turban and black
That'd be
tooth.
hilarious.
Yeah, I
How
remember
like
that.
kind of
terrible would
Middle
that be?
Eastern.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine trying to watch trying to get through any Patrick Troughton story with just that like overwhelming?
Doctor Who in the
Just
60s
bollocks.
is dated
It's
very
like, oh
well,
my
but if that had
God.
happened, no, it would
Oh my
not
God,
have dated well.
The BBC
No.
probably wouldn't release any of his stories on DVD, or if they did, they'd have like
Yeah, I
those,
mean,
like,
they censored
'cause
Celestial
on-
Toymaker for the CD release.
yeah on like
Really?
this is gonna sound
I
weird,
actually
but on,
got
like,
I actually got the unaltered clip.
Oh, great! Post
But,
it online so we can hear the King of Hearts.
Oh,
Nigga,
all right.
Excellent.
But like in when Warner Bros. This is gonna sound very odd, but when Warner Bros. Released Tom and Jerry on DVD, they had like people like Whoopi Goldberg just like at the front, like, now there's some racist stuff in here. But we've got to
Trigger
understand
warning.
that this is all good. So I feel like if Patrick Troughton had done that, they'd have like Fraser Hines and Cheney's like, hello, there's some racist bollocks going on in
No,
here.
what did
I
I
mean,
mean? No, he just be honest. He's like,
Dominator is
please,
great.
please forgive me. Am I white privilege? I didn't mean to do anything wrong.
Doing a goo.
Do I go?
Big Fish are going to terminate my contract if I don't apologize.
Anyway, before we start denying the Holocaust, I think we should end the panel discussion.
And our Holocaust denial will be continued off screen, ladies and
that,
gents.
that was another
To be
joke.
continued at
The
Christmas.
Holocaust did indeed happen.
To be continued at Christmas.
And it seems not a moment too soon.